Okay, New York session live, starting New York session in about 20 minutes. Start of the new H8 bar. Going to flip through all the New York pairs and do my watch list. So there's news, 7:30 actually, 10 minutes ago. So market is moving. So my watch list actually might change, but I think I'll just get a head start on it. So going to flip through all these, scan all the time frames, and I'm just looking at this section to see if these are lit up. If they're lit up, lets me know that we have strong directional bias on this time frame, the weekly in this case, and then I'm looking for a setup. So in this case, we don't have a setup on the weekly, but we do have a setup here on the monthly. So most likely I won't be trading that monthly bar. That's more of a swing trade. But the whole idea with how I'm trading, the new workflow for the indicator is just look to see if I can use this as my hard time frame bias, look to see if there's a setup, and then look at the trade setup sheet and look to trade this move on lower time frames. So whole idea is want a strong hard time frame bias, set directional bias on the hard time frames, then drop down to lower time frames and trade in that same direction. So we have one here on the monthly, but again, these are more swing trades. I'm probably not going to be swing trading. So we have directional bias here. I'm just going to mark this off, letting me know that we have directional bias on weekly. And what I'd like to see is for price to come down, fake out a low, and take it back up. We have breakout bar, previous bar close breakout. So market is an expansion on the weekly time frame, but daily time frame, we are not. There's no breakouts in the bar flow. Usually what I'm looking for is the first bar to be a breakout or the previous bar. That lets me know a market is expanding, but in this case, it's not. And you can see on the daily chart how that looks like. Market has been in a range this entire time. Actually, yesterday, this was actually popping out, and I did want to take a buy in yesterday's session. Did not set up for me. It actually ended up, was it this time frame? Oh, no, this one, the next one. It ended up flipping that H8 breakout level, and then I did not have any suitable entry to take that. And now it looks like it came back under that range. So with the way that I trade ranges, the way that I look at ranges is that if you fake out one side of the range, I expect price to get to the other side. Fake out the other side, I expect price to get back down to the low. And price just continues to ping pong in the range until price can finally break out of it. And so this range exists, this yellow line. Fake out one side, go to the other, fake out the other side, go to the other. And it just ping pongs back and forth. And it continues to do that until there's a breakout bar that closes outside of this range. We are pushing above that range. We're still actually below it, but we're kind of in the middle. Don't know what's going on with this one. So probably not going to be looking at this at the moment, at least not how it's right now. Only way that I'd be looking at this is if the H8 bar closes above the previous week high, then I'd be looking for a buy. Otherwise, I'd actually have more of a bearish bias there. But if it stays underneath that range, I have a bearish bias. But everything's bullish, so it's probably wouldn't be looking to trade inside the range. Okay, so next one here, same thing. We have directional bias on weekly, monthly have a breakout setup, so we are moving. We do have a range here, quick bias section at the top, range on the daily. And in this case, we have not triggered the high. We have kind of, can't really see if we've triggered that range low. I should probably add that into the indicator actually. But if it has been triggered, then I do have a bullish bias. H8 breakout level is bearish at the moment. So I don't want to get involved in this until we can flip that H8 breakout level. So don't really like this one. Yeah, so we do have directional bias here, but don't see a very clear setup. I'll look at these closer to the equity open, but for now, don't see anything just yet. So US 30, same thing. We do have a setup here, trend continuation setup. So on the setup sheet, which will be added to the WAP very soon, you just match the icons. So this is a trend continuation setup. I want to see price, in this case, breakout bar followed by an inside bar. Breakout followed by an inside. Want to see price come down, fake out the low, and take it back up to that fake out level for a first trade. And so that's actually what's happening right now. We're faking out the low, and we have flipped the breakout level. These are my entry patterns that I like to trade. Entry patterns I'm looking for I'm always looking for higher time frame and lower time frame alignment. So right now we have price pushing. So this is more of a breakout um, move, or actually no, this is a breakout continuation. We have a breakout here. Here's a breakout level. Price is coming down and triggering that previous low. So we're not trading this breakout. We're actually trading a pullback. So here's the breakout, and we are coming down and faking out the previous week low. So I'm looking for one of these pullback patterns: reversal entry pattern, continuation entry pattern, or a pullback entry pattern. And my favorite one are these reversal patterns. These happen only at swing points, while these happen in between those swing points. Flipping the breakout level only happens at a swing point. And so right now I can see that we have that flip of a breakout level right here. Here's the daily is a momentum time frame. Daily close breakout, trigger that low. This is a breakout reversal. This one right here, and then flipping that breakout level is a false breakout. So this is actually an entry for me, but wrong timing. So we'll have to look at this again. Hopefully this does pull back and doesn't continue on. Gonna mark it off green. Actually, I'll mark it off yellow, letting me know that this is a trend continuation setup. Okay, so just very quickly here, those patterns that I showed on the cycle alignment sheet, those are complex renderings, but simplified versions of these patterns you can find in the momentum cycle. Reversal patterns, continuation patterns, and pullback patterns. This one on the weekly is a reversal pattern. We have a breakout, faking out the low, breakout reversal, flipping that breakout level is a false breakout. You can see there the cycle is a false breakout, and that's the first entry. That's the best entry that I like. On the big cycle sheet, we have the breakout, faking out the lows, a breakout reversal, flipping that breakout level is a false breakout. And so the way that I set my bias on hard time frames, the way that I enter the trade and look for setups, I use the exact same concept. So it's one concept. I trade from top all the way down to the bottom. Doesn't matter which time frame. I look at every single time frame exactly the same. So I'll come back to this one at equity open. Silver, we have a trend retracement. That's the my favorite setup. Trend retracement setup. I want to see higher time frames pushing strong in one direction. Indicator lets me know that we have 100% bullish confluence on the weekly, and I'd like to see price now retrace back down to the low of this breakout bar, fake out the momentum time frame on the lower time frame, and then flip breakout levels and go right back up to that high. So the only way that that can happen is if price comes down and triggers a previous day low, which is all the way down here. I'm going to mark this off. Kind of like this one, but I don't like this daily breakout level up high. I would actually prefer, ideal scenario, honestly, is a bearish breakout bar that closes on the daily below the previous day low, getting below that previous day low. And if that happens, the breakout level will get pushed down. And then this would be a stronger move for me to take for tomorrow. So probably won't be looking at this one just now. Don't like to trade when we're in the middle of nowhere. We're kind of in the middle of levels here. Higher time frame levels are the weekly. Here's the previous week high. Here's the weekly breakout level. Kind of in the middle there. Don't like to be trading when we're in the middle. I like to frame my trades around these higher time frame key levels. The ones in white are the ones that are higher time frame ones. The setup time frame, the weekly, that are in have color to them. Okay, so I'm just going to mark this, but I probably won't be looking at that. Nothing else over here. Gold. Gold hasn't been moving very nice recently. Stuck in a range over here. Again, fake out low, fake out high. Now I'm expecting price to continue on down. H8 has everything I'm looking for here. Actually, no, we don't. We don't have an expansion. Quick bias there. No market expansion. So again, I look at the bar flow for that. Don't have a breakout of the current bar here or the previous one. This is a weekly time frame. Bottom ones are the momentum time frame, which is weekly. Don't have that there, and we also don't have that at the top. So if you don't have breakouts in the bar flow, then it's very likely that price is just consolidating. What I want to see are breakouts in the bar flow. That lets me know that the market is expanding. But if you don't have breakouts in the bar flow, currently we don't have one, and you'll see that market is more consolidating. So here another consolidation, well, you do want to see more breakouts in the bar flow. Just scanning for some examples here. Actually, gold has been really bullish recently. Okay, here inside, fake out, fake out. We don't have breakouts in the bar flow, so you can see what happens there. When you start getting breakouts in the bar flow, then you'll see market is pushing. So that's why I look at market expansion. Want to know if the market is in expansion or if it's in a range, and don't have that over there. I thought that could possibly look for a trade down, but this one's all right. On the M15, I do have everything, but we are in a range, and this is why this is dimmed out. But we do have everything. Momentum triggered, bearish directional bias, and we have the market expansion. Do kind of want to get in on gold. I'm just going to mark this off as a tentative one because we don't have an actual setup there. This is more discretionary, but I'm not sure if I can find anything in the market today. Okay, oil is pushing down here on the M15, so I'd be looking for a pullback or even a closure on one of the higher time frames. We're right at these strong higher time frame levels, which probably wouldn't want to be trading right back into that. So directional bias, but don't have a proper setup. Crypto, I trade on the weekends, not on weekdays. That's when I'm kind of testing theories and testing strategies. Nothing on here. No need to waste my time. Just keep moving. If I don't have all the conditions I'm looking for, there's no need for me to look at it even further. So Euro USD. Euro USD has everything over here. Euro USD, I was actually looking at this in London. I did trade London, but the setups I was looking for did not play out. I was looking at GBP Swiss. GBP Swiss trend breakout. Was looking for a trend continuation. Was looking for a breakout followed by fake out. Triggered that previous day high. Triggered the momentum time frame. Did not get below the H8 breakout level, so no entry, and saved me from a stop loss here. And I was looking at EU and GU. EU, I think it was trend breakout, or actually I thought it was on the daily, or maybe it was on the M5. H8, trend continuation move. And so this is what I'm looking for as well, but it has already moved. So what I was looking for in London was price to come up, fake out. It's a breakout followed by an inside, fake out the H8 high, faked out the momentum time frame. So actually I got everything that I wanted. This could have been an entry, but the problem was 3 o'clock was the start of the new H4 bar. I don't want to jump the gun. I always wait for that H4 bar. And when the H4 bar opened up, closed, I was waiting for a pullback up to the high. Did not get that, and then it just continued on down, and so I ended up missing this trade. So the better entry would have been here, false breakout move, H2 false breakout, my favorite pattern to enter on. That would have played out perfectly, but unfortunately, I opted to be more safe, which I never think is the wrong thing to do. And so I missed that one, and it doesn't look like I'll have something here for New York session. I'm not going to be looking at this. For me to get involved in this, it has to break out below, and then I'm waiting for a pullback. So nothing for me on Euro USD. And last pair I was looking at in London was GU. So exact same thing. Was looking for daily trend retracement. Faked out the H8 high. Breakout level is up above. Did not have any entry down here, and also not enough risk to reward. So did not take that one. This one actually did not complete its move. So this could actually possibly be setting up. So this is dimmed out, but the only reason why that's dimmed out is because it's an inside bar, so that creates a range. But inside bars I treat a little bit different than the other ranges. If you look at my definitions of ranges, inside bar, outside bar, and opposite facing fake out bars, or a string of fake out bars, inside bar is very different because we have a strong push, and then we have no volume to continue the move up or the move down. So there's no change in bias. While outside bars and fake out bars, you're faking out the high, faking out the low. This is indecision in the market, right? So you don't know if it's going up, don't know if it's going down. It can go either way. And so I treat these ranges a bit different than the inside bar range. So this is still valid to me. Actually, I might need to recode that so to let me know that I can look at that. But in this case, we have everything I'm looking for: bearish directional bias, momentum time frame triggered, expansion markets and expansion. There's a range, but we have that's because it was an inside bar, and we have a trend breakout setup. And so the setup for me, again, with these trend continuation setups, messing up the names, just kind of named them recently. So trend continuation setups is I want to see a fake out of a high to take us down. It did do that, but it did not actually complete the move. So what I'd like to see is this close in breakout. And if this closes in breakout, this flips this H8 breakout level, pushes it down, and then this gives me uh, this is a more of the sort of pattern that I'd like to see. I like it to come up, fake out the high of the day, and then I get in if price gets back below that H8 breakout level. Right, so I don't mind that, but I don't think there is a setup. This one, so that is all right. Oh no, not GBP USD. This one, so I'll have a closer look at this one if we can get up. Okay, NZD USD, nothing here. We have some moves here, trend breakout on the H4, H8. Don't have anything just yet. If this closes in breakout, this is going to be a trend retracement setup, so I don't mind this one as well. It is already starting to, oh no, this is, okay, if it does close, the breakout level is going to be pretty tight. So if it's pretty tight, then I'm going to be looking for instead of a trend retracement, I'm looking for a trend breakout. When both of them show up the same, it's going to be a breakout bar. I want to see a narrow range and then take that breakout at the bottom, but only if I have certain conditions, which I'll talk about if I see it forming. Okay, so this one is all right as well. I'll shortlist this one. I think this one was shortlisted. USD CAD, nothing here on the week on the M15, which looks at daily. We are in this big range. It's all colored like that because there's an inside bar somewhere here, I'm sure. And so I don't really want to trade when we're inside of that. I'd like to see this breakout. If this closes in breakout, then I'll be looking for some continuation move. It's been consolidating for quite some time. So I'll have a look at this. So one more minute here. Okay, we have one strong push on the H1, breaking out above previous day high. This I'd be looking for a scalp on the 1 minute time frame, trend retracement. But it looks like, oh no, this is going to be the new one, which would end up being a trend continuation. So I'd actually look at it more on the H4. Have a closer look at this one later as well. Okay, looks like lots of USD pairs moving here. Trend retracement on UJ on the daily. Want to see price come down. Close and breakout, and this is going to be in the middle of nowhere. So I don't really like this one. Okay, so H8 just closed. If this comes down, triggers a low, then this would be a little bit aggressive, still a bit too far away. Okay, so mark this off, but not really my favorite one. Since there's lots of USD pairs, I might just focus on this. I'm just going to skip through these, or skim through these really quick. Definitely want to focus more on USD pairs. The spread is better. So any of these, all of these don't have anything here. I think I saw this one in Asia, had a setup here. Trend retracement. So yep, we got a trend retracement, 100%. The levels are bullish. Momentum time frame triggered. market is an expansion. And I did not like this in Asia because it was in the middle of nowhere, and it's kind of still in the middle of nowhere. So I'm not sure I can take this one. If it comes down, fakes out this would be a trend pullback move or a reversal move on the H8. Not really the one that I would want to go for, but I'll just leave it. Okay, nothing here on EuroCAD. EuroCAD has that same move that I was looking for on Euro USD. Nothing here. NZD CAD. Nothing. AJ. Nope. EJ. EJ's been really good to me recently. Trend retracement on the daily. Saw this in Asia, posted an Asia session video. This would have been a nice trade. A little bit difficult for me to take. It was before I was looking at the chart also, but now it is kind of setting up again. Okay, so for me, trend retracement setup, looking for price to retrace back down to the lows, fake out the momentum time frame, and then take it back up. So right now, we have the H8 close as bearish breakout. H8 breakout level is down there. And okay, so this is all bullish. Okay, so this is all good. What I'd like to see, ideal scenario, is for price to come down, trigger the H8 low, and this will give a breakout reversal move. I always like to see rejection in the market. It's not enough for me just to see a flip of breakout levels. I want to see a rejection of the move down, and that lets me know that traders are pushing up. If price just flips breakout levels, that can just be price fluctuations. I really want to see price attempt to make a move down and then get rejected and then flip back up. So that's what I'm looking for. And so the entry would be above there. Okay, so I do like EJ. Going to shortlist that one. Yep, daily time frame. That's the higher time frame bias. And GJ, we have one here on the weekly. I think in Asia session I spoke about this. We've already completed that move. Triggered the previous day low, flipped the daily breakout level. That's the entry on this time frame. Could probably find a better entry on a lower time frame, but on the H1, this is the entry, probably above this gray level, which is the previous 3 months high. And initially, the idea is to trade it all the way back up, but I can see that we're in a range here, range on the daily. So first target would be high of that range, and that's exactly where it went. Okay, so I'll mark it off, but I don't really have high hopes for this one. Okay, so this is what I'm focused on, and I'm just going to set up my screen, put all of these as one of these. So I might just do it now. Looking at US 30, GU, NZD USD, USD CAD, USD Swiss, EJ. And I'll just keep gold there, and I always like to see what NAS is doing. It's one of my core pairs, so that's it. I'll just keep an eye on these, see if they get to the levels that I'm looking at, and that is it. Okay, so I'll be back if things get triggered. So I think my favorite one at the moment is EJ. EJ was on the daily trend retracement, and then M15 is the lower time frame. And since I have a bullish bias and M15 is currently bearish, we're below the M15 breakout level. I'm looking to trade momentum, or at least I'd like to see what momentum is doing. And I trade momentum if I hover over this execution time frame at the bottom, trade the M15 momentum on the M1. So here the momentum time frame is M15, and not going to do anything until I see at least a flip of the M15 breakout level. And I might as well just put some alerts here, buy setups, and this basically just lets me know if the momentum time frame low has been triggered and if we have any buy entries. Okay, and that's it. And let's see what happens here. All right, so M15 has come down, triggered the momentum time frame, the H8, and so now all I'm waiting for now is for price to come back and get back above H8 breakout level. So one thing I don't like about this is that we have faked out the previous week high. Right over here, we are faking out that previous week high. That's never a good sign. But if market is really bearish, then there's not going to be any chance that the H8 is going to flip. So if the H8 flips, then there's a chance that market is turning bullish. And this is why I just focus on momentum. I just look to see where that H8 is, and if we're above, going above. And once it flips, then I'm looking to take it down. So actually we have broken that H8 breakout level, the last bullish one. So I am bearish now, but again, if it comes back above this one, last bar closed bearish breakout. So breakout level is now pushed up here. If market can get back above here, then I'll take that. But let's see. And I can see the move here on the 1 minute M15 breakout level. In order for this to flip, lower time frames reverse before higher time frames. So in order for the M15 to start reversing, I'll be able to catch it on the M1. And so right now the M15 breakout level is right here, and no reason for me to even think about looking for a buy. H8 breakout level is up high. This is the entry, but if it can get back above here, then this could be an early entry, but this is below daily breakout level, so a little bit too aggressive for my taste, unless we fake out the previous day low. If we do that, then I'll look for a more aggressive entry. Let's see what happens here. Quick check on the other pairs. 8:30 almost at equity open. US 30 still kind of in the half fake that out, looking for a price to retrace. So H2 bar, trend retracement on the H2 bar. I'm looking for a trend retracement on the M2, which is where I trade that H2 bar. So I would like this to come down, fake out the low. Already set that alert there. If it does that, then I'll know. Otherwise, probably not gonna, or maybe I will take it on the weekly. We have triggered that range already. And if I'm going to take this, this is going to be the best place. So I'll just mark this off. If it breaks out at the top, I might go for an impulse entry on this one, but I would much rather this come down. But if it does go down, it's actually going to be below previous week low. But I do want to see some rejection of the move down. Gonna put some alerts here too. I don't think I'll be focused on this one. Buy setups. Just going to be focused more on EJ, I think. All right, so that's what I'm looking at right now. US 30 and EJ. USD CAD looks like it's starting to break out. Don't like what I'm looking at over here. I think I'll wait for a pullback. NZD, USD as well. Look, I think these ones I'll wait for pullbacks. Not really much of a breakout trader. 100% of the levels are pushing down. We are breaking out of a range, so this is actually a possible breakout to take if it does close nicely. But I'm not so much of a breakout trader. Okay. All right, so still no entries here, but I was just scanning the market just now and saw Euro USD start to push down. So I'm adding Euro USD to the watch list here, looking at the M15. H1 is also moving nice. Basically, I want to see some pullbacks here. I don't like to trade these retracements. If this closes here in 2 minutes, this is going to be a trend retracement. Don't like to trade that on the 15 second. I trade these on 15 second, M15 bar on the 15 second right there at the bottom. Generally, I don't want to trade that. I'd rather wait for the momentum. So M15 momentum, that means that the M15 has to turn bullish first, and then this is where I'd be looking for continued move. So another one over here. I kind of like this one, especially how it's kind of free falling here at the top. What was that? Sell setups once per bar, and so actually, what time frame was that? 1 minute, yeah. So I'm waiting for that on the 1 minute. If it pulls back, fakes out the M15 high, then I'll know about it and I'll look into it. All right, so EJ continuing pushing down, but I'm looking at US 30 now. US 30. We have that trend retracement move on the H2, came down, faked out the low. Now it's pushing back up, breakout continuation move right here on the M2. If it closes above, I'm going to take this move. Did not close above. Okay, so waiting for a closure above. So another 2 minutes here. EJ looks like it's going to continue on down. If it triggers that previous day low, I might be interested, but I'm going to switch this off to US 30, looking at the H2 and M2. These are the two time frames that I am interested in on US 30. So I just want to see a closure above, and actually let me do this. I think it was weekly. And the H2 and 2 minute. So this is how I'm framing the trade. Weekly is in a trend continuation move now that it's come down. We're in a range here. I've triggered that low of the range, looking for continued move back up to the highs. Okay, 30 seconds here. All right, so this is what I like to see. We are in a range, M30 range low, M30 range high. So this is a sort of breakout that I want to see. I want to see a breakout bar that closes outside of that range. And I like that the previous close as a bearish fake out. So best breakouts for me are always going to be when there is rejection at the top, either as a range or a fake out. And so if this can close above, then I'm going to take that one. So just going to mark this off. And it looks like lots of things are moving. EJ still not going. I don't know if this is going to go up, but my bias was bullish, even though the M15 is bearish right now. I'm only going to be interested if it flips that H8 breakout level. USD Swiss, NZD Swiss. So all these ones, these are valid breakouts to take, but I'm more of a pullback. I'd rather wait for that pullback. Okay, here we go. 45 seconds. Okay, didn't get the closure that I wanted. This is another fake out. So I'm still waiting for a breakout bar. I'm just waiting for a breakout bar that closes above, and then I'll get in. All right, 15 minutes until the new H1. Still no trades yet. Still looking at the same thing. H2 bar, as I said on US 30 close bullish. We're now below the previous week low, so that's not really good. Did not continue up. So always nice to see, even though it didn't go in my direction, it's always nice to see that my rules kept me out of any unnecessary losses. Didn't enter in this one. Now the only way that I can take it up, and I still have bullish bias as long as we stay above the H2 breakout level, is if it closes, I would like to see this breakout level flip, and it turns bearish one, and then this would be a reversal. It's a little bit too high up, so maybe even longer than 9 o'clock, maybe even 9:30 or 10. That would be where I'd be possibly looking for a move over here, but it is pushing down. pretty strong. Let's see what happens here. Quick look at EJ. EJ on the so I have the daily. This was the trend pullback that I was looking for. The M15. So again, I'm looking for flips. So that breakout level, we have everything I need. I just needed to show me momentum to the upside. If there's no momentum shifting up, then there's no trade. And I'm on the M1 where I can see that M15 momentum. We have the breakout level of the M15 right here. And you can see as long as we stay below that breakout level, there's no reason at all for me to even be thinking about buying. So it is starting to kind of push. It's always nicer to see rejection at the bottom. Like I said, it's always nicer. I prefer to see the market push down and then the market reject that move down. That's a lot safer to take a reversal from the bottom, but not really doing anything at the moment. Everything else seems to be pushing out. So these are breaking out. Did say that these are nice breakouts to take. We're in ranges, but I'm not really a breakout trader. I'd rather wait for the pullback. So if I don't get anything on these ones, I'll definitely catch it on the pullbacks. Might not be tonight. Could possibly be, um, tomorrow or anything. But basically, I'm just looking for. I like to see this because it's expanding the range, and so then I could look for a trend retracement setup to continue that move down. So just need to stay patient um, and wait. So 10 minutes till the new H1. So I'll wait until that and I'll see what else is in the market here. All right. So US 30 continued to push down, faked out the M30 low. This is a breakout reversal entry. These are aggressive entries, not my favorite ones to take. But if I'm going to be looking for a trade, bullish one, this is what's happening right now. We have a breakout below the low, and we're faking out the low. That's a breakout reversal, and still waiting for the flip of the M30. So I'm still using the H2. Can't use it as my bias bar. Technically, I can't use it. It's got to be above previous week low. So if it can get above the M30, then it's going to be above previous week low. And if it does that, I'm going to be entering. Could size into this trade. Actually, I could take this one and slowly size into the trade. But right now, I'm just trading this perfectly, waiting for the M30 flip. EJ, nothing yet. We're still below breakout levels. M15 breakout levels are still bearish. No sign of any reversal here. And again, this is why I look at momentum. If there's no momentum to the upside, I'm not going to take any stupid trade. I'm always going to wait for momentum to kick in order for me to be interested. Everything else, lots of movement. I've changed all these timeframes to the M1 because I'm looking for pullbacks. None of them are pulling back just yet. So it might be just a case where everything's pushing and don't really have any entry at the moment. So these sort of moves, this is a breakout, and if it closes like this is going to be a fake out. This would be, right now it's a trend retracement, but if it closes like this is going to be a trend continuation. Let me just quickly check. Got my alerts here. This would be a trend continuation move, bearish breakout followed by a bullish fake out, which is this setup, bearish breakout followed by a bullish fake out. But one thing that you should understand about all these setups and how the market works is that if I just look at a higher time frame, this is going to be a trend retracement. If it closes like this is a breakout bar, and this becomes a trend retracement. So trend retracement setup, this is the one that you should really understand. You don't need to know any of these ones. Just find the time frame that has that breakout bar and wait for the retracement. All of these are trend retracements on a smaller time frame. So most important setup to understand is the trend retracement setup. Breakout with higher time frames pushing in one direction. Best ones are breakouts out of these certain key levels, and then look for pullbacks to continue. If it continues on, then just go to a larger time frame and see if you can find the trend retracement on that one instead. And that's pretty much how I do things here. So here you can see breakouts and price pulling back. But if you increase the time frame, then these can all be trend retracements. Here, this gives a possible trend retracement here on the H8, on the H12, on the daily. Higher time frame you go. If you have a fake out of the low, then you can always go to higher time frames and look for that trend retracement setup. So that's the most important one to understand. Find the trend retracement on any time frame. Okay, so nothing really going on here. Actually, market's moving, but I don't have any setups here. I'm not taking any breakouts at the moment, waiting for price to retrace. So long video right now, nothing going on. Hopefully I get some sort of entry here, but I'll pause until I get some sort of entry. Okay, so we're 15 minutes away until the new H2 bar. I can see that the H2 bar has faked out the high, faked out the low. I think it's very unlikely that in the next 15 minutes this is going to close in a breakout. And so if it closes below this level, the previous bar's high, then this is going to be closed as an outside bar. Now, outside bars create a range for me. If we have an outside bar, fake out high, fake out low, close inside, then this is, I consider this one of the definitions of a range. And so I already know that most likely I'm not going to be wanting to trade this because this is going to create a range. And so even if I get an entry here, I'm not going to take it. I need to wait for the next 15 minutes to see if this closes as an outside bar. I think this is going to be a risky entry. And if it does give me an entry, it has to be above the breakout, the previous bar's high. So don't think I'll have an entry on this one. And I'll be looking for probably a different time frame, maybe on the H4, just 2 more hours. And this one has just faked out the high, has not faked out the low. Possibility that this can turn into a trend continuation setup, but we are below previous week low and we don't have any bias here. So I don't want to get married to my bias. Sometimes when you're looking to take a trade and you just get fixated on it, that can actually hurt you sometimes. And I think I might just bail on this idea. All right, so I think that was a Euro USD one that got triggered here on the H1 bar. We have a breakout. 13 minutes until the H2. If this closes like this is going to be a trend retracement. So I'm not going to be taking any trades on the M1. I'm going to remove that alert. And I'll be waiting for the H2. And hopefully I can catch something here on the H2. Trend retracement setup on the H2, pulling back up to the highs, take it down. But at the moment, don't have anything. Market's moving really strong. And sometimes this can be frustrating for some people when there's lots of moves. But none of these are tradable with the setups that I was looking for. I don't generally like to take breakouts. I'm more of a pullback trader, and I'm starting to focus more on these pullbacks rather than get these breakouts. Most breakouts fail, so I want to be trading more safe with, especially since I'm going to be explaining my trades to people, explaining my setups and everything. I want to explain more safer ways of trading rather than taking breakouts. And so the way that I'd be looking at this right now, I want to see this close and then want to see retracements back up to that breakout level on all of them. Maybe not gold, but all these other ones. Going to be looking for a trend retracement move on these ones. Okay, quick check here. UK 100. Didn't really look at UK 100. That's not really what I look for in London. Took this one in Asia from down here. Low of range, H8 fake out, flip the breakout level, take it up. Was looking for a move up to the, what is that, weekly or daily range. Didn't make it. Once it faked out the previous day high, knew I was in trouble, so I went break even, got taken out and moved down. Still like this one, but I probably will. We don't have good trading conditions here at the moment. I'll look for something more tomorrow or on a different time frame, but not right now. Okay, so still nothing yet. Gold has triggered the low of the range on the H8. Faking out first sign of a reversal. We're below daily breakout levels. This is more counter trend. Um, yeah, don't really see anything that I can latch onto here. Definitely all these. I just need to wait for pullbacks. Okay, so 10 minutes. My session stops at 11. And if I don't have anything, I'll just wait for tomorrow. Lots of moves in the market. Really moving USD pairs. Moving really strong. I always like to see that. That means that I can get some nice pullbacks in most likely an Asia session, actually. We'll have some nice pullbacks. EJ, we're not flipping. So we faked out high, faked out low, broke below. I had a bullish bias based off higher time frames, but now on lower time frames, we're definitely bearish. I'd be looking for pullbacks on these ones. Okay, so market is kind of going crazy right now. All of these have just changed directions very suddenly. So this is not the sort of conditions that I want to trade. So I'm definitely going to sit out for a little bit. Didn't see anything in the news. Nothing at 10 over here. Not sure what's going on, but usually this means that some sort of event is happening, or maybe there was something on the news that I did not see. But in any case, was able to stay out of all this messiness. And okay, let me do some investigation. Want to know what's going on. Okay, did not see anything on the calendar. Didn't see anything on news. I think I'm going to sit this session out. Look at what gold is doing. Just some random sudden move like that. It did trigger that range low, so I would expect it to come up a bit, but not really this type of speed. US 30 now just stuck in this range. Not really what I want to be trading. Let's see the yen pairs here. Yen pairs reversing direction a little bit, but not too bad. Yeah, this is not too bad actually. I think it's the USD pairs are the ones that got a little bit crazy. So I'm probably going to stay away from USD pairs until I know exactly what happened here. And I'll go back to EJ. That was the first setup that I was looking at. And US 30 over here in about 2 minutes. H8. Yeah, no, none of these are really good at the moment. Yeah, M15 is not too good. Okay, so at this point, usually I'll scan the market again, but it's getting really close to my cutoff. 11 is when I completely off. Don't really feel like sitting around. Got some Netflix shows I want to catch up on, and so I'm not gonna waste my time on anything like this. Just gonna continue looking at EJ. Let's see if I do end up getting that move on the M15. And I'll just continue looking at US 30 and EJ. I'm not going to look for any pullbacks on these other pairs. NZD USD is probably the best one, but again, I don't know what happened, why markets like this. So just be cautious and stay out of it. All right, so look at all this. I'm not gonna force anything when the market's acting a little bit erratic. So, wow, something must have gone on, but don't see anything on the news or anything like that. Anyways, when I see stuff like this, just tells me that better to not rush anything, better not to trade, and that's it. I'm done. Not gonna take any trades in New York session. Gonna wait for all this to kind of settle down. I know that there was red news earlier, but usually it doesn't take this long to see some type of effect. So just letting this play out. On this H2, once it closed bearish, I was looking for a trend retracement on the H2. And so I was looking for a bearish move, but I definitely wasn't expecting such a strong drop like that. US 30, again, I always like to see that staying out of harm because I followed my rules. Um, yeah, so just gonna let this. Yeah, what's going on here? Okay, anyways, done. No trades this session. Staying safe, just letting the market do whatever it wants. If I took a trade now, usually I'm holding it overnight, and I'm definitely not going to hold overnight when the market is just kind of doing this sort of stuff. Okay, so that's it. New York session done. No trades. Long video today. Hopefully, there are some things that you learned from my analysis, at least in the beginning, but no trades. So there you go. Be back in Asia session tomorrow.